When you are dealing with anxiety or depression or anything like that, one of the big problems is that you really have to fight the culture. And you might think, "Well, what the heck is he talking about?" Here's the thing: the society that you live in influences a lot of what you think and feel about stuff. It's in the commercials that we watch, it's in the TV shows that we watch, it's in all these different things around us, it's in the music we listen to. And in America, we have a very strong consumer mindset. It's all about me, 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 serve me. Everything needs to revolve around me. There is no A to B happiness. It just has to be, everything has to be about me being happy and being comfortable. And it's kind of this oversimplification of life and how the world works, and it's just kind of like almost like a denial of reality. Like uh, things like you can have all the pleasure without any of the pain, and that life is about that, and stuff like that, and it just kind of affects us, and we don't even realize that this is happening because it's part of our culture, and so we just kind of accept it. It's part of our society, and we just kind of accept it. Here's a good example. We want to buy stuff. We want to own all kinds of stuff. We want to go to the store and we want it to be there. We want it to always, when we go to the store, it's just the stuff's just going to be on this on the shelves. That's the way we want it. But then we get mad at truckers and we don't want there to be diesel truckers and that kind of stuff. It's like, well, how is it going to get from point A to point B? You have to put up with diesel truck drivers because you buy stuff from a store. I mean, that's cause and effect. That's a necessary thing. Um, Another example, um, when you when you want to have everything that you like or see or desire, um, but you don't have the money to pay for it. When you want food, but you don't really like farmers, you don't really vote for people who are going to help the farmers, you don't much care about them, animals are gross and disgusting, and well, where do you think the stuff in the store comes from? Like, right now, it's terrible to be a farmer. Like, America doesn't cater to people who actually do the work. I mean, look at, for instance, how the whole 2020 COVID thing, pandemic, and all that went. Um, People listening to actors who contribute nothing, um, instead of watching out for, I don't know, doctors who are actually kind of important. So I mean, there's just a lot of upside down stuff there going on. What does it matter if somebody plays football professionally? What does it matter if somebody plays baseball professionally? Versus these people who are actually doing something that matters. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. We cater to entertainment. We cater to people, who do things that aren't are kind of pointless. And then we get mad at the people who are actually doing something important. Um, yeah, I guess it's just the way it goes, though. We want to be happy, but we don't want to have to give up the thing that is making us miserable. See, this is important because a lot of times we want help with our anxiety, we want help with our depression, we want to feel better, we want to do better, we want to be important, we want somebody to care about us. But we never stop to ask, maybe the way I'm thinking about this is wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We live in a culture where, oh, no, 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 you can't possibly be wrong. Always validate. And it's like, well, that's not really helpful when you're trying to get over anxiety and depression because you aren't always right. The things that you think aren't correct just because you thought them. Sometimes we hold on to things they're making us miserable. I'll give you a good example. My Facebook. It wasn't fun. All that was happening on there was nonsense. People were saying a bunch of just ugly things, hatefully. They were saying things that were just ridiculous. If I said anything, they very much so antagonistic against me. And I'm not trying to play the victim. Everybody feels this way about their social media, and yet we all still use our social media. So at first I posted this thing and I said basically, well, it's been fun, but I'm quitting Facebook. And then my wife started talking to me, and I thought about it long and hard, and I went back, and I don't know if I'm going to get back on Facebook. I don't know, but I went on my account And I deleted all the people who either didn't care about me, I didn't care about, or, these people don't really care about me. I had almost 800 Facebook friends. Now, some of you are thinking, Sal, I have thousands. And it's not a competition. You're missing my point here. And so I went through and I ended up with like 150 or something of those people. Now, not all the people that I kept, let me say that differently. I deleted some people that I knew, and I deleted some people I didn't know. But all the people that I kept, I know and I like and I actually care about them, and I know that at least some of them actually care about me. Now, not all of them agree with me, and that's okay. You don't have to surround yourself with people who think just like you. But my point being, my Facebook had become a dramatic cesspool, pool of sludge. And so I went through there. And then there's also something where you can unfollow people. So you can still be their friends and everything, but you don't have to see all their nonsense all the time. I've been bombarded with political nonsense on my Facebook and stuff about the virus and just thing after thing after thing. Well, if Facebook's that much of a drain, so I mean, instead of getting rid of the thing that's causing you to be miserable. So then I went on my groups. I took off groups and pages that I didn't really like, that I liked or became a part of, just to, appease people or whatever. So I went through and I got rid of that crap. Now I only like things that I actually like. Now I only am a part of groups that I actually care about. And now I only have people on my Facebook who aren't just nasty, hateful people. I had some people who, I kid you not, were ranting about President Obama and Trump and now Biden. Same people ranting for that long of a span of time. Even when it wasn't election season, it's like, how can you possibly talk about politics all the time? How can you possibly never run out of things about politics to post? And it's like, oh my goodness. So I deleted it. See what I mean? And now there's that irritant. Another thing are addictions, which for a lot of you, Facebook is an addiction. I want to be happy, but I don't want to lose what is making me miserable. Sometimes it's going to be things. Sometimes, you're scared to lose things. You live for things. You think if you accumulate it, it's going to make you happy. If you go and buy another video game, if you go and buy another book, somehow that's going to make you happy. And that's just ridiculous. What you really need to buy is a new bike. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. We want to do these things that don't produce happiness, and then we want to be happy. I'm going to live for myself, but I want to be happy. I want to only care about myself, but I want to be happy. I want to spend all my money on myself and only think about myself, and it's not gonna make you happy. Another good example: we don't want to live for God, but we want to be content. How is that going to happen? How are you possibly going to be content in life without living for God? Well, I'm not religious. Okay, I'm not asking you to be religious. I'm saying we all have a hole in our lives, in our being for God, and trying to deny that is not going to produce anything. And so what we do is, I'm perfectly content. Okay, you're a mean, nasty person, very hateful, has no direction in life and no hope in life, but you keep yourself occupied with entertainment. Well, I'm glad that you can live in that precarious place. I can't. See, the only thing in life that's really going to produce contentment is following God. What some people do is they try and mix their Christian religionish thing into God. So, let me say that differently. So, in other words, I'm going to go through all the motions, and it's going to make me content in life. Jesus had actually a very big problem with people with organized religion. They were called the Pharisees. You might have heard of them. Kind of got him killed, which obviously I'm not trying to make light of that. I know that Jesus laid his own life down. I'm not trying to make light of that. But my point being, to try and find contentment in life without seeking God, And so some people try to say, oh, well, I'm Christian just by following all the tradition things that they feel like you should do to be a good Christian. And then they don't get that contentment. And they're just like, well, what's going on? See what I mean? And when you're dealing with anxiety and depression, you have to come to this foundational point of saying, what is my culture teaching me that is wrong? I live in a consumer culture. So what about that is wrong? Well, a lot of things. If you want to be happier, you need to have less, not more. If you want to mature your thinking, you need to follow God more, not less. If you want to have less stress, you need to not be so worried about your about money. See what I mean? Like there's so many different things that we kind of just accept as a part of our life, and it makes our fight with our anxiety and our depression worse. But then we don't even want to second guess how we're doing things, how we're living, how we're believing. And that's something that has to happen. Something that has to happen on a spiritual level. That's something that has to happen on a mental level and on a physical level. And it just comes to be, there needs to be a point where you can have a serious conversation with yourself. And you listen up here. So I hope this was helpful. Hope it gives you something to think about. It's good to want to address your anxiety, your depression, whatever you're going through. Your pornography habit, those kinds of things. That's good. But you can't do that if you think that your culture, your society is somehow the standard of what should and shouldn't be.